eternal optimist. So please, God, don't tell me that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, great. We're going to go along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Off the left field line. And he'll dig for extra bases. A sliding double for Jackson Churio to lead things off in the bottom of the first. And Terang smacks one to right. That's down for a base hit and is off the wall. Churio will score, and the Brewers immediately answer. William Contreras tags one towards the gap. That is down for a base hit past the diving Eden Happ. Terang will score. Broken bat for Freeland. On a ball to second. Corner boots it. Everybody's safe. Here comes Contreras. And he scores. And Perkins wins the battle. Vaughn around third. He will score. 4-1 Milwaukee. But Churio laces this one into left field. And the hit parade continues. Two more come home. 6-1 Milwaukee. Ballesteros rolls over on one. It stays fair. And that'll do it. The best team in baseball during the regular season. The Brewers with a barrage in Game 1. One of the largest postseason wins in franchise history. And the Brewers lead this series 1-0.
Let's go. I don't have a voice back yet, and I don't care. Josh, can you talk? You take it.
I'm talking. I'm doing great, buddy.
Oh, man, I'm more than great.
Let's go.
More than great. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Follow us on Twitter, would you? At Trevor Thomas IW and at On Air Josh for Mr. Albrecht. At Inside Wis Sports is the show. At The Fan Milwaukee on Facebook and Twitter. TheFanMilwaukee.com. And the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line is open. 414-677-1250. I have no idea if this is as good as my voice is going to get today. I attempted to rest it from the game. I don't know. And I don't know if I care. It was unbelievable on Saturday. Time of my life. Josh, thanks so much for hanging and for crying on my shoulder. And that's real. That happened.
That did happen.
We have so much to cover. And so, I was thinking about this last night, Josh. I think we should go one segment about the baseball, and then the next segment about our tailgate, and then the next segment about baseball, and then the next segment about the tailgate.
Sure.
So maybe to kick off the show, let's cover the baseball side of Saturday so we don't ignore the fact that the Brewers came out bats ablazing. And we were worried. You were worried. I was worried, even though I was trying really hard not to share that I was worried.
Mm-hmm.
We were all a little concerned. All for naught. Holy cow. What an inning in the first.
I mean, it was the roller coaster of everything we'd gone through all season in micro-sized one inning. It was the fear right off the bat to literally the promised land all coming true in one inning.
So I think we were standing when the Cubs hit the leadoff home run. Michael Busch, third pitch of the game.
I must say third pitch. Yep.
Like quite a poke to right field. And you were standing at that moment.
Yes.
And then I think you sat down because you're like,
did.
This isn't working.
Yep. That is correct.
And then we sat down, and then there were some Cubs fans kind of standing in front of us. And so I stood up, and then a guy behind me was like, down in front. And I'm like, I would love to sit down.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's the thing, too. It wasn't even just the fact that they'd scored the home run. It's then, the whole thing with you being tall and people yelling, all of that started right away. I was like, here we go.
I'm so glad you experienced that. That is the truth. I've been telling stories about this for a few weeks now, and I've got so many more where that came from. But I was literally standing only because the people in front of me and to the right of me Our tickets were in the 200 level, and if these people to the right and lower stand up, I can't see the plate. And so I stood up a little bit just for a second or two.
Yep.
Maybe like, I don't know, 2-3 pitches. Hey, down in front. Here we go.
Mm-hmm.
And I turned around and I was like, I would love to sit down. I understand. I can't see if I sit down. So I'm hoping you can see if you stand up. But they didn't want to stand up. And so I don't know. I don't know if I make them. All right. So that was that home run, though. And like all the things changed. We got out of it. And then the bottom of the first inning happens. And oh, my Lord. Thanks to TBS for those calls to lead off the show today. Other than Woody's home run, that might be, and it's a close comparison, Josh, but that might be one of the greatest sporting sequences of my entire life in person.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the difference between, because we were both there for that Woody home run back in the day.
Yeah.
And
not together.
No, we had no idea the other existed.
No.
But, now, like, this is different because I don't even know how to say that this was a sports moment. It was a string of moments. I don't remember the last time I watched a sporting event, period, and saw that type of display in that big of a moment for that long. I mean, it was incredible.
This sounds weird to say out loud, but it was almost an out-of-body experience. Like, it was so surreal, it didn't feel real.
Yeah.
It was double RBI, double RBI. I think Yelich grounded out.
Yep, Yelich grounds out.
It was unbelievable.
Then Vaughn walks, and then Frelick with the the single, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Single.
Yeah. Whoopsies. Sorry, Nico. Better luck next time. And then your tears started.
Yeah. Yeah. Which we're gonna get to. I gotta save that for the most electrifying sound. I put this whole thing together. We didn't hear any of it, obviously, because we're too busy screaming our heads off and everything else. But I mean, what an incredible just of everything from that being Perkins going and then Boyd getting pulled. And then who had that on the bingo card?
Amazing.
You know what I mean?
Somebody lit me up on Twitter for using that term, the bingo card. I am so done with the bingo card. You don't get to put anything on your bingo.
What a clown.
Shut up.
None of that today.
None of that today at all. If you want to join us, which I highly recommend you do, this is going to be a really fun show. The Nicolay Law Fan Talking Text Line, 414-677-1250. We had listeners in the tailgate. We can't wait to tell you about that. We had Jason in the 920 was there. Andy from Brookfield. Your friend Josie.
Yep, Josie was there. We had Liz
who's got
there.
The greatest hair in the history of hair, by the way. What color was that? I'm colorblind.
Yeah, it was purple. She had purple hair.
That was impressive. And then we did not bring something, though, for the vegan.
No.
We had a lot of...
No, but she brought some stuff for us. So
she did.
Got the party going.
Came in a small bottle with a 7 on it. Oh, just a blast. I don't know. It was one of those games that you go to and you're like cautious. Well, I am cautiously optimistic. You came in maybe not so optimistic. But from the walk in, I experienced a Josh Albrecht that I didn't know existed. I've heard stories. Yeah. People have talked about this. But I still have a chafe mark on the outside of my left leg from you just rocking in your seat, just freaking out.
Yep.
And then 9 runs happen, and there's a song in the musical Hamilton. He'll never be satisfied. That was you. You will never be satisfied, no matter the score. 9-1, Josh. It's going to be okay. We're doing fine.
I was very excited at the end of that game.
At the end of the game, yeah. not you were excited, but very cautiously optimistic still. So
yes, because anything can happen. And they proved that by putting up 9 runs in the first 2 innings. So anything could have happened the other way. It's not over until you get the last out in the 9th, which they did. And then that's one. We did it. And what a game, man. What a game. What moments. Incredible. I can't get over it.
Well, so thank God we scored as early as and often as we did, because when Churio got pulled from that game, you could have heard a pin drop. And that was a scary moment. They're not terribly scared, in case you missed it over the weekend or specifically yesterday. It was very, very like, let's just be sure we have a big lead, take him out type of setting, right? He felt tightness.
Mm-hmm.
He talked after the game. Murphy talked after the game. Murph said, super scary. We'll have to see how this looks. Churio said, in comparison to the last time I hurt myself, this feels nothing like that. So we're okay. Everything's going to be okay. Then yesterday, they released that the MRI was inconclusive.
Not great.
What?
Well, the inconclusive? What is that? Doesn't make me feel great.
It should make you feel amazing. Inconclusive means they don't see any problem.
Okay.
Inconclusive means I got nothing here to share. We don't see anything that's different from a previous MRI. There's no new injury. There's no new inflammation. Like, that inconclusive means it didn't show us anything that we should be concerned about. And then they tested him yesterday. He did a little running, some jogging from home to first. He looked okay. And he didn't look bad, by the way, when they pulled him. It was just a weird, like, I thought he stepped on first a little weird. But before that, he goes and sets records. I mean, the first player in Major League Baseball history in a postseason game to have 3 hits in the first 2 innings.
Yeah. I mean, it was lights out, man. He was lights out, which I think was why, it's the same thing with the roller coaster of the game, right? You're on such a high, and then Churio comes out of the game, and then it's, oh my God, you're immediately,
Is that the roller coaster you were talking about?
Yeah. Listen, I had my own phone to be looking at everything. I'm just screaming at Trevor, what are they saying on Twitter? And he's like, I'm looking.
That's exactly what happened.
As if
I need information right now.
As if I couldn't have looked myself.
Yeah, I'm right here.
Oh.
It's like, we got this. It's going to be okay. And it was okay. And it is okay. And it will be okay again tonight. My voice is not okay. From a yelling perspective, I can't think of another game where you come out of the gates like that, other than that Woody home run. But it was one after the next, after the next, after the next. And you just kept screaming and kept cheering. And you did not believe it was real life. It went from absolute tragedy, 1-0 leadoff home run for the Cubs, to 6-1 after the first. And you're like,
and listen,
wow.
I wouldn't even say that, it was complete despair. It was just, okay. So the Freddie we were all afraid was going to show up.
He showed up.
Of giving up that first solo shot to start the game. And then that's exactly what happened. And we're all just like, not thinking that's it, we lose, but just thinking like, this is, we're going to be playing from down, which is what we were afraid might be the case with Freddie on the mound. It just didn't matter. I mean, the deficit was gone in 45 seconds. It was incredible.
All right. So much more to cover, but that's what that first inning felt like. And we want to know what it felt like for you as well. So hit us up, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line. There are stories from the stands. There are stories from the parking lot. There's stories from walking out. Listen, at the end of the day, that was one of the greatest sporting days of my life. Unfortunately, can't go tonight. Son plays football, but I'll be back in the garage in front of the giant TV at my house, cheering on from here in Green Bay.
I love that. Just really quick before we go to break, you mentioned the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, which, of course, we want you to be a part of the show, 414-677-1250. Like the 920 who said the fact that Josh and Trevor have spent the last several shows talking 90% Brewers and baseball makes this my morning show of choice forevermore. New show is great. Well, you're going to love today's show in the 920 because it is a party up in here.
All we want to do on this show, which is called Inside Wisconsin Sports, if it doesn't have to do with Wisconsin sports, I don't care. Neither does Josh. We will always tie it back to Wisconsin sports. Luckily for us, there are plenty of Wisconsin sports to talk about. And the Packers didn't play this weekend, which makes it all the more better for you and I because, frankly, I am all in Brewers right now.
You bet.
We'll talk a little Packers later with Andy Herman, but for
Yeah,
now,
we'll see.
it is Brewers big. Yeah, well.
You might be talking Brewers with Andy Herman.
So be it. So be it. Hey, you're going to be talking Brewers tonight, the playoff
Darn right.
edition of the leadoff show on the road tonight ahead of game 2 between the Chicago Cubs and the Milwaukee Brewers. Join our guy, Josh Albrecht and Tommy Wirtz at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mountain tonight from 5 to 8, brought to you by Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea here on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
It was loud. Yeah, I heard the Brewers fans. I didn't hear anything else. So I heard them cheering, and it was loud. And, it was a good time. It was fun.
Bryce Terang after the game on Saturday about the crowd, saying he heard a lot of Brewers fans. It was loud, and he didn't hear much of anything else. I tend to be on that page. You?
Well, it's funny because there sure seemed to be, man, maybe it was just in our section, but I saw a lot of Cubs fans.
Yeah.
I just didn't hear a lot of Cubs fans. And I think that's because the Brewers didn't give the Cubs fans a whole lot to cheer about.
Awfully loud in the beginning, then not so much the rest of the day. What is up, Wisconsin? Welcome in Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Follow us on Twitter at Trevor Thomas IW and at Josh is on air. Sorry, at on air Josh. That's Josh. At Inside Wis Sports as well, at the Fan Milwaukee, thefanmilwaukee.com, the Fan Milwaukee on the Odyssey app, and you on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, 414-677-1250. Hit us up. We want to chat with you all morning long about your experiences at the game. What did you see? What did you experience in terms of fan interaction? Did somebody see this fight? So this segment is called I Have Questions.
Yes.
And today, I have questions. First off, if somebody was close to the fight in the 100 level down the third base line, I need to ask you questions. What in the world happened on Saturday? What happened? I'm seeing reports, Josh, that some Cubs fan, and this is speculation online because everything that you read on the internet is real. Some Cubs fan got in the mix with a 10-year-old.
That's what I saw on social media as well, was a report of a Cubs fan, multiple Cubs fans making a ruckus with Brewers fans. Not saying that it was just Cubs fans, right? There was some back and forth, but that there was a Cubs fan that literally hit a 10-year-old, and then the security got involved, and then there was like name shouting at security, and then that's when like arrests happened and people were kicked out. So
it's my understanding that this Cubs fan was overserved in the parking lot, and somebody that I know that was in the area said he was ushered in, meaning he was helped to his seat, and they didn't think it was going to be long before he was helped from his seat. And apparently that was the case. So was that the second inning? You and I saw a bunch of people standing up to our left, which didn't make sense. And they were kind of looking down. And then we got word that there was a big fight and that a number of people were ejected. And now it all made sense that they were looking at something down below. I have questions. How smushed do you have to be to get in the mix with a kid?
Yeah.
Like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, it's the standard conversation of, you have enough to have fun. Don't have enough to be stupid. I love
and that's
that. Stupid.
That is stupid. And as a dad, which I'm sure you can appreciate this as well, if someone would have touched my 10-year-old, I would have been the first one ushered out.
Yep.
And he would have needed a stretcher.
Oh, yeah.
So I hope the dad or somebody in the vicinity helped this guy understand. My God, for real? I mean, I've seen some videos. None of them are great. I hope more surface. But if you were in that section, I want to know what happened. I have questions. 414-677-1250. A couple people that I know that were in that section didn't get great video. That's what they can kind of said happened. But obviously all that happens really fast. But what an absolute idiot. Terrible.
Yeah, listen, this is the type of stuff that happens at Brewers Cubs games at American Family Field. That is the reason why I don't bring my family to Cubs games at American Family Field anymore. Yeah. Obviously a playoff game is different, right? You're going to go, but there was one when Jordy, who's now 8, but when he was like 2, I brought him to a game with the missus, like we all went, and beer poured on his head, like from a fan sitting behind us. And I turned around like, what the heck? And there wasn't even an apology. I was just like, this is ridiculous.
That's when you blew a gasket. Been there.
That was the problem. And so, I'm not I hate to say this, but I'm not surprised that there was something because tensions are high and people were stupid. But like you said, if it truly, and this is all speculation, but if it did truly involve hitting a kid, I'll ban for life from every park.
There's a high likelihood that individual is waking up in Milwaukee County this morning.
Yeah, I hope so.
He's going to have a pretty tough conversation ahead of him with a guy on a bench, not a baseball bench.
No.
All right, here's another question I have.
Yeah.
Aaron Ashby?
Yeah, so that was my question. Okay. So, listen, today's a party, but we also can't
Aaron
forget.
Ashby is what I tried to say.
We have game 2 is tonight, right? Yeah. And so as much as we're going to celebrate and party for that amazing win in game 1, we're right back at it. 8:08 tonight. First pitch, game 2. Let's go. And the decision is made and announced yesterday that Aaron Ashby taking the mound. Now, I think you're in agreement with me, Trevor, when we say that we thought Priester was going to be on the mound.
I think Priester is going to be on the mound.
Okay, so this is I have questions.
Yeah, I have questions too.
So there are different ways they can go with this, and that's why I do understand and kind of appreciate the chess match, the mind game that Murph is putting out there, because you put Ashby out, you have options, right? He could very easily not put out Priester afterwards. He could put out Miz. He could go, Miz to Hall to the rest of the bullpen, depending on how Ashby does, et cetera, et cetera. Or Ashby could just be kind of a decoy, and then Priester still goes out and pitches as much as he can. Is that you're telling me that you're thinking it's the latter?
Buddy, you ever watched the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles when you were a kid?
Yeah, of course.
This is Master Splinter teaching Michelangelo a lesson. And there will be pizza involved.
Okay.
Do you remember when Council did this exact same thing in the playoffs?
Yes.
Only it was one batter.
Yes.
So this is what's going on, only it may not just be one inning. But Murphy is so in Council's head right now. And now he brings out Ashby to however many innings he pitches. He is simply saying, hey, bud, I know exactly what I'm doing. You thought Priester, right? Everybody thought Priester. No. I hope Ashby pitches 6 innings tonight.
Okay.
And then we don't use Priester.
But that's my question. And I have questions. Is what's the plan with Ashby? What do you think the plan is?
Well, I wrote down, in Murphy, I trust, and I think this is completely strategic. So you and I on Saturday both said, all right, so Ashby's coming in, right? And that's what happened. That makes sense in that position in that game. And then it was Jared Koenig. And I was like, huh? Why? Why Koenig? Why not, I don't know, any other pitcher that we have on the bench in the bullpen that would typically come in with a giant lead just to get us out of this game? There were some people around us that said, well, they haven't pitched in how many days. We need these guys to get back on the mound. Well, they're all capable of throwing a bullpen. So there's a part of me that goes, is this a live bullpen session for Ashby? Is he going to come in and pitch 1 inning and then Priester's going to come out in the top of the second? Or is the Miz going to come out for a couple innings? And then Priester. This is my favorite part about the playoffs. Nothing is for certain. So I don't know, but I think it's all strategy, and it's to get in Council's mentals, which, by the way, his mentals were not in a great spot on Saturday.
No, well, and can you blame him?
No.
I mean, you're that manager, boy.
No. Yes, I can blame him. He did this to himself.
Well, sure, that's fair. But I'm saying his reaction was exactly what I thought his reaction would be, knowing that he sent out his all-star pitcher in game 1 and he doesn't get out of the first inning.
On 3 days rest. But, he was ready. The second he came off the mound in game 1, he said, I'll be ready.
Yeah.
No worries.
Didn't seem that way. Hey, I have a question.
Yeah.
Where do you stand on replacing someone's bag chair if it breaks after you say, we're not responsible for what happens to this bag chair?
This is not going to be the last time we talk about this. If you go to Twitter right now, On Air Josh, On Air Josh posted it over the weekend. I literally just posted it this morning at Trevor Thomas IW. if this chair could talk, it would have some things to say.
Agreed.
So my answer to the question is yes, I do think that we should have replaced the chair. Now, here's the story. Okay. So we were what? I don't know, 20th in line. We were in line by 8:30, 8:45.
Yeah, felt good. Felt right.
Felt great. Wanted to get in, wanted to experience the tailgate, do so in an epic way with an invite of whoever is listening, come and join us. And they did, by the way. My wife said when I got home and we went through the leftovers, she's like, well, I expected you to have a lot more food left over. Nope, sure wasn't, because we had people out in force. It was great. There was a tailgate right next to us.
Yes.
What's the guy? Do you have the card?
You
still?
Bet I do. Yeah.
What's his name?
Tyler Sommerfeld.
Tyler.
Of the Ultimate Tailgate Experience.
We're gonna give Tyler a lot of pub
the card,
this morning.
by the way. I'm impressed with myself.
You needed to. Somebody needed to.
Yeah.
So they have this giant, oversized folding chair. Like think about the ones. Yeah, bag chair, right? Only it was this Costco one.
Yeah, gigantor. Like obnoxious.
Yeah, 6 cup holders, which means it's meant for more than one person. But I digress. So this group of guys and gals who are great, by the way. Sometimes you luck out and sometimes you don't. We lucked out. They say, hey, we'd love to have you guys take a picture in our chair. To which I'm like, whatever, right? Well, Josh heard that and was like, no, we're doing this. Absolutely doing this.
A content, baby.
So we did. But I was like, I am not a small mammal. And Josh is a little larger than the average bear. Is that fair?
That's fair. I'm not denying that at all.
So combined, we have the power of Captain Planet. However, we should not necessarily sit in the same chair at the same time. So it's a big chair, though. And I should have walked around it like a rental car. Yeah. I should have walked around it. Like, all right, is there any damage?
As we're going up to it, I make a hear ye announcement, right? Like they're all talking, having fun. And I'm like, I need everyone's attention. Is there a waiver that needs to be signed or something that needs to happen? Because we are not taking responsibility for what happens once we get in the chair.
I was not over there for that conversation.
Oh, I said it loud and proud. I made sure that everyone and they said, yeah, no, you're fine.
All right.
All right. And so
I sat down first.
Yeah.
I sat down first and I'm like, because I do not want to be the guy that goes through the bottom of this as the second guy in the chair. No offense. So I sat down first and I said to Josh, I am the big spoon because this is not a chair made for fellow. Look, go look at the picture at Trevor Thomas IW. Like this is a big chair, but we're big boys.
Yeah. We're going to meet in the middle for sure.
I felt myself sink on my side as they were taking the picture. And I was like, buddy, I don't know how we're getting out of this without busting this chair because this thing is going down already.
Yep.
Right. And that was on my side. I will blame myself for this. It was not on your side. It was completely underneath my tush.
Yeah.
All right. We no more than do the scoot thing out of the
to
chair.
Try to get out. Yep. Yep.
It completely tore. It was, oh man.
Oh, it was bad.
No.
It was bad. And I didn't believe it at first. When you said that, I was like, no, it didn't rip. It ripped? You look at me, you're just like, yeah, it ripped.
It ripped.
I was like, oh no. We get out of the chair. The whole back.
It's hard to describe how it ripped, but it ripped. And we're not talking like it's a repairable rip.
Yeah.
If you so chose.
Yeah.
But I immediately went into, we got to buy this chair now.
Yeah.
Now we have to pay for the chair. And so I started asking like, yeah, you didn't. You not only didn't, but you didn't want me to pay for the chair.
I gave the waiver. Okay, there's a reason. I can't say that with force and then feel like now this is my fault. Like you guys were the ones that were like, take a picture in the chair. Yeah, you guys got to take a picture. Because I'd been joking with them earlier about how, well, if you sit in that chair, you're smooching that person. Like you guys are going to be close together. Like we made all these jokes and that's why they wanted us in the chair because they thought it'd be funny. I said, I'm letting you guys know, do not want to be held responsible. And then you're like, well, we're responsible. And I'm like, this is exactly what I said. We're not responsible.
I must have missed the not responsible side. We're going to talk more about our tailgate in the 7:00 hour, but needless to say, that chair is it might be usable for small people.
No,
but Not for guys our size
Tyler,
anymore.
great sport, by the way. He was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I don't care at all. I want a raffle."
Yeah. And did I pay? Did I not pay? I guess you're going to have to keep listening in the 7:00 hour because we have a lot more to talk about. I made notes, and here are the notes: tailgate, chair incident, credit card incident, Josh crying. I still don't have a voice. If you turn this radio station off, it is on you. It is completely on you if you're missing out on these stories.
Agreed.
The most electrifying sound of the day is next. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Ouch. Yep, don't care. I do want to ask Andy, like, all right, so the Cowboys scored more points again, like lots, and then the Vikings won, and then
The Bengals didn't look as awful.
yeah, they did not, but the Lions still won, and the Vikings beat the Browns, and the Cowboys looked pretty good. So how does that leave us feel after a bye week with what's going on in Green Bay? You know what I mean? Like, that's a big question.
All right, here we go.
All right.
Live from the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. It's Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor.
2-2 from Savali, and Churio grounds one to third, diving stop by Shaw. His throw not in time. Another run comes home.
Another run comes home, and another run comes home. 9 of them, actually, came home in the first 2 innings. And then it was pretty bleak. Didn't feel great, but big lead nonetheless. That's all that mattered. Inside Wisconsin Sports is on your radio with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Follow us on Twitter at OnAirJosh, at Trevor Thomas IW, at Inside Wis Sports. The chair is there that we just talked about, and we will talk about again in the next segment. Make sure to follow the Fan Milwaukee at the Fan Milwaukee, the website, thefanmilwaukee.com, and the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. All right, time for the most electrifying sound of the day.
Blake Perkins now, switch hitting outfielder. Been a rough season for Perkins. Began the year injured and then found out some of the worst news you could find out. His mom diagnosed with cancer, stage 4. She didn't make it through the season. And it's been an emotional ride, and Perkins has certainly been a favorite in the clubhouse for a while here in Milwaukee, but his teammates carrying big time this year. And he's helped carry them.
Yeah, he's been so stoic about it. You know, it's a very difficult thing to, do you share? Do you not share? But, you know, he got through the season. Here he is, starter in center field for game 1.
Again, the runners go. And Perkins wins the battle. Vaughn around third. He will score. 4-1 Milwaukee. Craig Counsell has seen enough. Blake Perkins wins an 11-pitch at bat and chases Matthew Boyd in the first.
Whew.
Yeah.
It's a goodie.
It's a goodie.
So, full disclosure, you know, I did edit a lot of that out to put that together because that was from his full 11 pitch at bat, which, you know, the full first inning you can find on YouTube. But that is what got me. That was what got me in the stands. That's what got me crying. First of all, if you're listening to this and you are unaware of my story, I lost my mom to cancer when I was 25. And she passed away 2 weeks after my first son was born. And so 2016 was a very difficult time in my life. And I can't imagine, you know, him being in that position. And, you know, we were aware that he was out for bereavement leave for, I think, you know, he missed a game or whatever it was. But we didn't really pay much attention to it because it was like, okay, Perkins isn't in. Someone else will be in for him. All right. And then we're watching baseball. And they didn't tell us that story. You know, we didn't find out about it until I think that till the regular season was over, or it was maybe like the last game of the season. Did the news come out that it was, you know, his mom who passed away and the whole story with it. But then to just have it be that then that's his first at bat in the first postseason game of the series. After hearing that news, after knowing what he went through, to then have the at bat of the game. Okay. And I will fight anyone on that. I understand the score was already 3-1. You can talk about how important Churio's at bats were. That at bat was an 11-pitch battle with the Cubs starter in Boyd that he ends up coming away with a single, scores a 4th run, and knocks Boyd out of the game, forces Counsell to have to go to the bullpen. To me, that was the defeat. It was that at-bat that had Counsell going, crap. I got to do the one thing I didn't want to have to do in this game after the wild card game 36 hours ago. And because of this single by Perkins, I got to go there. It was everything.
And you were emotional.
And I was emotional about it. I don't deny that. I'm not mad about it.
All of it, though. I mean, like, I think you were emotional not only about just where this game had gone, but obviously remembering your mom 9 years this month, right, buddy?
Yeah.
So that's real. I mean, that's emotion that he felt. That was emotion that you were feeling. And that clearly was emotion that Craig Counsell was feeling.
Yeah.
Because he walked out. And by the way, every single time he stepped foot on that field, boo!
Boo! Boo, Counsell, boo! Loudly.
Oh, yeah. And intensely. They went through 4 pitchers, but there was 2 pitchers in the first 2 innings.
Yeah.
And then of all people, to come out of the bullpen for the Chicago Cubs.
Yeah.
And at one point to face Andrew Vaughn.
Face him twice.
Aaron Savale. I remember taking a picture there. I went using that bingo card thing again, but I took a picture and I said, if you had this on your postseason bingo card, you are a liar. Because nobody saw Aaron Savale pitching out of the pen for the Chicago Cubs with the way this year's story went. That was a heck of an at-bat. It made them make a change, and it was on. I mean, that at that point, it was on. Turns out he wasn't ready. Whoopsies.
Uh-oh.
And we got a game tonight again. 8:08 tonight on TBS, Cubs at Brewers. The Chicago Cubs fans did not show up in force on Saturday like I expected them to. There was a Cubs fan sitting in our row. I believe it was next to Andy and Brookfield, but while you guys were gone, I talked to him a little bit. And I said, hey, how much did you pay for these tickets by chance? And he goes, just under $200. And he goes, but here's the crazy part. I was at the Brewers ticket office or in the Brewers ticket system today, meaning they had released some tickets today, and he went to buy really nice seats below us in the 100 level. He was at checkout. He was filling out his information. And then all of a sudden he got a prompt, and the Brewers ticket office said, sorry, these tickets are not available to you.
I love that.
They would not sell them the tickets because of their address. It was an out-of-state address.
Yeah. Good.
How insane is that?
Oh, it's perfect.
It is perfect, but how many Cubs fans ran into that, I wonder? Like, I don't know if there's a way to check on that or see that or talk to that. If you're a Cubs fan listening to this, sorry. But also,
welcome in, though.
That's great. Because you know why? Our group, by the way, on the way to the steakhouse, which we got to tell that story next.
Yeah, that'll come up.
We were listening to sports radio out of Chicago. Do you understand how pissed they are at Craig Counsell? It was so great. It was so great. And we have so many more stories to get to here on Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Stay here. I am an eternal optimist. So please, God, don't God that you're an eternal pessimist.
I like to say I'm a realist.
Oh, it's great. We're going to go along great. This is going to be great.
This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh.
Also told us that Boyd was immediately ready to go. He said as soon as he came off the mound in game one of the wild card, he said he'll be ready for game one of this series.
He is pitching on 3 days rest, but only threw 58 pitches in that game, so he should be ready physically to go.
A few moments later.
Chourio rounds one fair, up the left field line. And he'll dig for extra bases. A sliding double for Jackson Chourio to lead things off in the bottom of the first. And Terang smacks one to right. That's down for a base hit and is off the wall. Chourio will score, and the Brewers immediately answer. Tie game. William Contreras tags one towards the gap. That is down for a base hit. Past the diving Eden Happ. Terang will score. 3 straight doubles for the Brewers to begin. And they have the lead.
But he was ready. Then again, maybe not. Maybe not. Oh, let's go. Inside Wisconsin Sports is on your radio. Trevor Thomas, Josh Albrecht, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Good morning, Josh.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
Oh, real good.
Yeah.
Real good. I hope you are too. And I hope all of you are out there as well. Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line. Get with us. You're up. The line is blowing up. 414-677-1250. 414-677-1250. Follow us on Twitter at Trevor Thomas IW and at On Air Josh. Inside Wis Sports is on Twitter as well, at The Fan Milwaukee and thefanmilwaukee.com. And of course, you can listen to us on the Odyssey app. What a weekend, Mr. Albrecht. We met for the first time.
Yes,
on
we
Saturday.
did. Yes, we did. Hugged it out and everything.
Yeah, I go in for the handshake, good to meet you, and then the bro hug. Nah,
right.
Weren't having it. Weren't having it, and that's okay. That's all right. I was in for it. I'm a hugger. I have nothing to be. I'm a hugger. As a matter of fact, I think I said it to Julie when she came out. I was like, "Hey, are you a hugger?" just saying.
Yeah. No, we're a hugging family.
Great to meet your family. I did not get to meet Jack. Jack was sleeping.
Yeah. Thank God. Always.
Met Jordy, met Julie, met you. It was great. And met so many Brewers fans in the parking lot. And we have so many stories to share. It's the morning mind dump.
Yes.
Every single morning, 7 a.m., the coffee has worked. We are awake, as are you. It is time to get the things off your chest or out of your dome that you carried with you on the weekend. Spill it on us. Give us the morning mind dump on this Monday morning. 414-677-1250. Josh, dump away, buddy.
Okay, thank you. You'd think there probably wouldn't be a whole lot that I need to get off my chest about game one because it was a party. It was exciting. It was great. Well, there was one thing that I saw afterwards on social media that I was like, oh, this is such a bad look and a typical Cubs look. And this comes from the Marquee Sports Network, right, that show the Cubs games. Before the game, they're talking about the roof setup, right? And they're complaining about the fact that it was set up to where it was just having the sun be in the Cubs dugout. This is Elise Menaker, if I'm saying her name correctly, on Marquee Sports.
Oh my gosh. It's half open right now. It's going to be open, but what they've been doing, and Scott Shagnon tweeted a great picture, they've half open closed it right now. Scott is so tempted to pan. He wants to show you. Do you want to do it? You want to pan? He's going to do it, guys. All right. So they've shaded their dugout and their half of the field this entire time during warmups, and the Cubs have been in the sun. Now, because the sun has moved, now the Cubs side is in the shade, but they were doing that all pregame. Yesterday during workouts, they were playing like slow 70s music, like They're putting in some work here to try to throw off the Cubs. I don't think it'll work.
Okay. All right. A few things. First of all, you are not a fan. You are supposed to be media. Do some homework. Okay. The rest of us somehow found out prior to the game, I don't know how they didn't, that it's not up to the Brewers with the roof position, right? Unless someone's going to tell me differently. Everything that we saw, including stuff from like McCalvey and media, was that the MLB commissioner's office controls the position of the roof during postseason play. So they were the ones that set it up that way, and they set it up that way so that there was still some airflow, but that it would be by the start of the game, the sun will have moved and it will have been shaded for play. Now, we were in the sun for the first, what was it, inning? Two innings, maybe?
Terrible, whatever it was.
It was hot, okay? I'm not denying that. But the fact that you are a media member here, you're doing a report, and you're saying, yeah, this was the Brewers trying to get a one-up on the Cubs. I don't know that it's going to work, but okay. First of all, yeah, immediately on my bad list. But second, do some homework. Third, this is your whole argument, the story that you're going to go live to the reporter on the field for her to just say, well, they're not in the sun anymore. Now they're in the shade. Oh, you mean immediately proving the point of why the commissioner's office had it be that way? Adoy, awful job just all around. Okay, if you're looking for an angle because you're trying to get some more juice out of the rivalry and everything else going into game one, this is literally a report you're doing before the game started, and the problem you're complaining about is already gone. Oh, annoying. And
she talks about the music. Well, they played slow 70s music or whatever it was. Yeah, that's called home field advantage. That's called you're in the park of the best team in baseball, the overall number one seed. We did that in the Northwoods League. This is nothing new. When the opposing team is warming up, they're lucky they didn't get SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Or Sesame Street or any of the other crap we used to play in the Northwoods League.
It's an away game.
Yeah, tough. Oh, that sucks.
But I was like, how is this going to be the story that not only a reporter did quote unquote research on to have be a part of your post-game pregame show, but then to have no one back at headquarters do any follow-up to say, all right, before we accuse the Brewers of this, are we positive this is just the whole organization, everyone there, just such a Cubs mentality of, well, how can we blame Brewers for more stuff? The worst.
It was the worst. So at the end of the day, the roof was half open, half closed. They eliminated the shade for the majority of the game. The only time there was shade on the field was when the sun made it into the windows that are facing the proverbial west. And then there was some sun back on the field. But there was a little sliver of sun in left field for the left fielder for both teams.
Yeah, correct.
And then it was gone. They could not have done a better job of preparing that stadium, preparing that field. Major League Baseball did a great job of understanding where the sun was at, how to use the roof, and so on. Because when we were pulling up to the stadium, there was a sliver.
Yes, we saw it.
It was barely open. And then as we were tailgating, it was all the way open. And then they moved it a little bit. And they were trying to make sure that it was the fair playing field surface, if you will, for both teams. Hey, I saw that and I was like, good God.
Also, you know what I also just thought about? Who cares in the dugout? It's before the game. The players are warming up on the field, or I don't know, then just go further back in the dugout. Don't stand in the sun. Just so dumb. Such a dumb argument.
Just fairly simple. Just a fairly simple thing to understand and deal with. And then in the moment, just, I don't know, figure it out, not complain, do whatever you got to do, whatever.
Yeah. All right, all right. I'm glad I got that off my chest.
Thank you. Ahead. That's what this is for, the Monday Morning Mind Dump. What's on your brain? If you got to get it off your chest or out of your head, hit us up on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text Line, 414-677-1250, 414-677-1250. There are some that came in, and I think this is kind of fun.
Yeah, there's a lot that came in already.
To say the least.
I appreciate everyone texting in this morning.
So let's get after this here from the segment before. Nobody felt great after Churio came out, that's for sure. Ziggy mentioned that. So he's getting that off his chest this morning. We agree. The stadium was in a different place when Churio walked into the dugout. And he was punching his helmet, and you saw that on TV, and I saw that from where we were sitting. I was like, oh, God. Oh, God.
Yeah.
No, we're okay. He's going to be okay.
Well, and then you heard reports that the broadcast
tightness
said that they read his lips saying, I'm good.
Yeah.
And so you were like, okay, he's good, but he punched his helmet. So did he just punch his helmet in front? Like, we're trying to put the whole story together. Yeah.
Someone in the 262 said it was great flying the L flag in right field. Good news. There was a lot of L flags. I actually went to order one because I still want to put it up on the dude's flagpole in our neighborhood. Like, especially if this series goes the way it appears to be going, knock on wood.
Yes, knock on all of it.
All of it, all the things. They're out in force. Those L flags were flying out of people's bags and purses and pockets. There was more L flags when that game ended than I was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so good. So thanks for flying the L. We appreciate you. Hey, Josie, check it in. Josie, good to meet you on Saturday. Morning, gents. Thanks for a great tailgate. Wonderful to see Josh and to meet Trevor. She was fantastic.
Yeah, she's a sweetheart.
Yeah, really good time. That clip was smoother than a baby's bottom. Great stitch from Ziggy. Nicely done on that, Josh.
Yes, thank you. Thank you.
They left in force. Jacob in a van, 262. Yeah, the Cubs fans did not stay for the majority of the game. As a matter of fact, really grateful that the Cubs fans in front of us moved because I got some serious leg room.
Oh, yeah, that was nice when that opened up.
Amazing. Tall guy problems. How does baseball give the Brewers a day off on Sunday, especially when the Packers and Bears round a bye? You got this?
Yeah, absolutely I do, because we talked to our friend Jeff Levering on Friday about it. Listen, 920, I was with you. I was like, I don't understand why they're not playing on Sunday. It was predetermined a year ago. Apparently, It goes back and forth. Last year, it was the AL who had the off day on Sunday. This year, it was the NL. And that's why it's going to line up that on Wednesday, as the NL is playing game 3, the AL will already be playing game 4. It's just the way that they do the scheduling. And this year, it was the NL who had that break.
Yep, had nothing to do with us or them or anything. It was just the way it was. We asked that, though. We had that same question for what it's worth. Didn't quite make sense. So although it is really easy to celebrate and spend all of our time talking about the game, there are some things to celebrate from our tailgate. So
I was wondering if you were going to get this, if you were going to mind dump this.
I need to mind dump the tailgate situation with this chair. Okay.
Okay.
So in case you missed it earlier, go to the Twitters, the X's, and go to @TrevorThomasIW or @OnAirJosh. We both posted a picture of this chair at some point. All right, so there's this giant chair. Again, tailgate next to us. Got to say his name.
Yeah, Tyler Sommerfeld, with the ultimate tailgate experience. He had his own bar he made. He had this gigantic, almost like, prop, gigantic bag chair that
huge
is meant to fit more than one person.
Meant to. Keyword meant to.
Yep.
Josh and I broke it. There's the Cliff Notes version of this story. Josh and I sat in it. We took a picture, and right after that picture was taken, we both squirmed to get out of it, and that's when the fight started with the chair. I, in that position, feel like we should pay for the chair, and I have no problem. Like, it broke under me, regardless if it was me, you, or both of us, doesn't matter. I felt my butt go down, and I was like, well, here we go. So we start looking them up. They're at Costco. I think they were $140 brand new.
Something like that, yeah.
And I really tried hard to pay for it. And the majority of the tailgate was like, God, don't worry about it. And you didn't want me to pay for it because you had prefaced this whole thing with,
I was afraid it was going to happen. And so then when it happened, I was like, this is why I said something.
Told you. But we looked up the weight limit on the chair.
Yeah.
Okay. The weight limit was 600 pounds.
Yeah. Which we are not.
Well, but we had to talk about it.
You're right. We didn't have to discuss.
There was math
involved.
There was math involved. I am not $3 bills, although I have been. Currently not $3 bills. You are not $3 bills, nor have you ever been.
I have been, but I'm not.
Have been.
Yeah.
Well, good.
No. Yeah, thank you.
Story, we're a solid 50-ish pounds away combined weight from 600. Which, by the way, you know you're a big dude when you step on the elevator and you see the weight limit on the elevator and it's like 1,500. You assess yourself and you look around, you're like,
you start doing math. Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know how big that guy is.
So long story short, we believe the chair was a defect because we were under the weight limit. We should not have had any problems. It is meant for more than one person. They're brand new at Costco for $140, and they would not. Like, there was a back and forth a little bit. Nobody was angry. Well, there was one person that wasn't exactly pleased with what had happened, but she's like $600. And I'm like, I don't think so. That's when we started Amazoning and Googling and figuring out how much they were. But long story short, we ended up not paying for it. Although, if that guy in his sobriety called us, texted us, and said, guys, actually, upon further review, that's an important piece to this business I'm trying to create, which is called
the Ultimate Tailgate Experience by Tyler Sommerfeld.
And they have an ultimate chair. And just so we're clear, it's repairable and still usable, but it did tear. It did tear. So anyway, that was one story from the tailgate. So here's another one.
This is my favorite. I was like, please get to this in the mind up.
So I got to get this off my chest because Josh can't catch. So
that is rich.
Yeah,
okay.
That's rich. I know. Wait till everybody texts in and says you're an idiot.
Yeah.
I'm surprised Tommy will say the same thing. Ed, right? Ed?
Yeah.
Ed gave me rabbit ears in the picture. Did you see that?
I did see that.
Yeah.
Classic.
Great. So we're at a steak place. What's that called?
Henry Flocks on 92nd and National in West Dallas. Great place to go.
Because after tailgating and eating ballpark food, you need nothing more than a ribeye at that
celebratory steak. Listen,
amazing.
We go in there. Ed and Tommy are already in there. And it's we walk in, the four of us, and it's, hey, I mean, the whole place is high-fiving us. Everyone's excited. It was great. It was a great atmosphere.
I'm already changing shirts in the parking lot for the third time because it's just been one of those days. I was grilling, and then I was sweating, and then I had to just reassess the situation before I walked in. I'll put it that way. So we get this steak, and it's an amazing dinner. They were great to us. It was fantastic food. They set us up outside on the patio.
Yep.
I mean, there was
night.
8 of us. Beautiful night. We're all just coming down from what was an amazing game.
Yeah.
And the bill comes out, and I want to take care of, obviously, my meal and my buddy Jason's meal. Jason in the 920 was with us.
Yeah.
And she was splitting it up perfectly. I thought I had your attention.
Mm-hmm.
And so I grab my credit card, and I flick it to you. I kind of do the toss
from across the table, mind you.
Oh, you act like this was the Last Supper
no,
table.
I'm just saying it wasn't like you flicked it at me, but you were within arm's reach. I want to paint that picture.
I did still throw it. And by the way, I gave that zero thought. Not a lick of thinking before I tossed my card to you.
Yeah.
So it hit you in the head.
Was not paying attention.
Because you didn't know it was coming. And then you kind of like fumbled the thing, and then it hit that's right, we're on a deck. Now, the odds of a credit card falling through the crack of a wooden deck are very small, except for me. And there went my credit card right through the deck.
You guys got to understand, if you're listening to this right now, if I paint the picture of the story, first of all, I am not paying attention. He throws the card. It hit the brim of my hat. It didn't even hit my hands. It hit the brim of my hat to where I go, what was that? And then when I look down, it's already gone. It's like it went from brim of my hat straight in between two deck boards, gone.
We've all been a part of those stories where you pause and go, holy crap, did that just happen?
Yeah.
That just happened.
Yeah.
Like,
it's gone. It's
gone. My buddy Jason goes, Trev, I think that just went through the deck. And I'm like, awesome. Now, I did not freak out.
No.
Everyone else freaked out. But I was like, guys, I'll just cancel the card.
Yeah. And he's looking to do it immediately. Like you're pulling up your phone. Well, it's not like someone else was going to use it in the next 30 seconds. Like we knew where the card was.
Listen, we found out later that somebody was living under there.
Yeah, at one point, yeah.
I had a plausible concern that was in the wrong hands because it was out of mine and nowhere to be seen. So then Jason goes off the deck and realizes that it's kind of open underneath, and we start to assess. Now, you're not going under there.
Hell no.
I'm not going under there. Jason's not going under there. But to the rescue.
Yes.
Andy in Brookfield.
Incredible.
We find out that there's a way to belly under this thing and grab the card. And Andy went under there and took one for the team
He
and
got
grabbed
his
the card.
card.
And then I handed it
Yes.
into the receipt thing and she went and took care of it. When she came back out, I don't know if you noticed this, but she was kind of like loosey-goosey with it. I'm like, just hand me, give me.
I'll take it. I'll take it right here.
Right now. Put it in the hands.
Here's the thing. You could have tossed your credit card to me 30 more times. That's not happening.
You would have caught it. Oh, yeah, absolutely. You would have caught
I'm just
it
saying,
every
like, if it would
single
have fell
time.
on the deck 30 more times, it doesn't fall like that. Like, it had to have been the perfect bounce for it to go under the deck. But it was just awesome. It was an absolutely awesome moment. And it was funnier. It gets to be funnier because you got the card back. Because we got it back, then it makes it a great story.
Yeah, it's a full loop story is ultimately what it is.
Oh.
So back to our tailgate here for a second. We had a great time. We had a great setup.
Yeah.
The RV did not make an appearance. Somebody just texted in, Jacob in a van. Did the RV make an appearance?
It did not.
But why? Because it wasn't necessary, frankly, and it would have been a lot of work. Now, for what it's worth, how did you wake up, buddy, on Saturday morning?
Oh, yeah. I woke up to a text that said, hey, on my way to you, might need you and Andy to drive separately.
Okay. So I slightly overestimated the amount of room I had in the Jeep. And
like,
I did my best to pack everything, but Friday night was an absolute disaster. There was weather. My son's football game got delayed by an hour and a half or 2 hours, and then they ended up calling it. I had no time to pack, and then I had to get up at, hey, let's do a morning radio show and sleep in on the weekends until you got to go to a Brewer game and you're going to tailgate and your alarm goes off at 4 a.m. anyway because you live 2 hours. So I did my best to pack, but there was a moment where I was like, oh, boy. I don't know that we're going to fit Josh and his buddy Andy in here. So I sent him a message like, heads up, you might need to drive.
Mm-hmm.
To which you responded with, I have zero intentions of driving. We need to figure this out.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
First impression, Trev. So we get there, we unpack the entire Jeep, we reassess, we take some things apart. Jason, who is just a mastermind with this, he was great at Tetris when we were kids.
Yep.
Yeah, fantastic. We got everything in. The tailgate was amazing. And then it was time to walk into the stadium. And you would have thought Josh was walking literally to the electric chair.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You were not well.
No,
my friend.
Well, I mean, I was nervous. I was very nervous. I don't feel like you're nervous going to the electric chair. You know the fate already. But it was just all the buildup from the start of the wild card series. And seeing how all of that played out, to knowing that the Brewers had a break, to being worried that it was going to end up being the Cubs, to then it being the Cubs, to then it being game one, all of it. And now I'm walking into the stadium. Now it's game time. So, oh my God. Okay, here we go.
Oh, don't worry. I put together an audio piece because I recorded it.
Oh, no.
And I just emailed it to you, and we are going to play that next. This is what you missed. If you didn't walk in with us, if you didn't come to the tailgate, this is what you missed. We're mixed it up. I got it to you. It's in your email.
Okay, I'll take a look.
You hit that bumper music, and we're going to play that when we get back. We're jacked for the new lineup here on The Fan. I hope you guys are too. We're having an absolute blast. Thanks for all the kind comments. So many people came up to us. There was people sitting behind us, Josh, that were like, oh, I recognize your guys' voice. I listen to The Fan every day. You're doing great. I'm so happy that it's back. We are too, man. Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, 6 to 9, 9 to noon with John Kuhn. The Mason Crosby Show with Mitch Thunder Nellis, presented by Verizon from noon to 2. Wisconsin Sports Daily, served up by Wendy's from 2 to 5. And the Fan Postgame Show with Tommy Wartz from 5 to 6. The all-new Fan lineup here on The Fan. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
And Terang smacks one to right. That's down for a base hit and is off the wall. Churio will score, and the Brewers immediately answer. Tie game.
And then so many more moments. What a game on Saturday. 9-3, a Brewers victory, 1-0 in the NLDS against the Cubs. Home again tonight, 8:08, the first pitch from AmFam Field on TBS. I can't make it tonight. Josh, I don't think you're going either, because you'll be a part of the playoff edition of the leadoff show, right?
That's right. That's right. You can see me with Tommy Wartz at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound for the leadoff show from 5 to 8:08. We'll be doing it up until first pitch. And then I don't know. I don't know what's happening after that. I will tell you, as of right now, I don't have a ticket. I'm not saying no to a ticket. I just don't have a ticket. So we will see how that goes.
The leadoff show from Kelly's Bleachers tonight on Blue Mound from 5 to 8, brought to you by Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea here on The Fan. All right, so one more piece to wrap up our tailgate stories. Probably not. We have more. But we will get to the game and then tonight's game. And I think we have a guest that just confirmed in the 8 o'clock hour. We'll let you know who that is here in just a little bit. But on the way in, I had not, listen, this is the first time I've met Josh on Saturday before the game. And I had not experienced a game with Josh. And a lot of people that I know in my life and that you've known in your life have experienced these things with me. And I've actually watched videos because I went way back on your Facebook page and I knew it was coming. Okay. So I grab my phone and I start recording walking in with Josh. Here is a minute of what I experienced walking into the game with Josh on Saturday.
Oh, God.
Okay, we're walking in.
Yeah.
Josh, what's wrong?
My heart rate. That's my heart.
What's wrong?
Game time. This is it. This is
What's
what we're
wrong with
waiting
your
for.
heart?
It's here. It's here now. There's no more waiting. This is it. Crew, do not let me down. This is the season, right? You told me this is it. Let's go.
These are the glory days, Josh. These are the glory days.
We need to win. The Brewers. We need to win. The Brewers need to win.
No. Say the Brewers won.
God help us. Right there. Here's what you need to know. Here, I'm taking this over.
Okay.
Right there. Uke. Not the golf cart. Uke behind the golf cart. We need Uke magic today. We love you. We miss you. This is everything. It all starts today. The magical run of what can be starts today. And we need all the help we can get. Oh my God. Ah!
I mean, listen, I'm not embarrassed of it. I told you when you first surprised me with the tickets, I said, this is going to be a hell of a first impression. First time you've seen me, you've seen a different type of Josh.
Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Dude, it was so fun. And then, by the way, if you think it got better, it did not. I don't know that it was frankly better until the final out. Is that fair? You did have moments of calm. You went down to the team store and hung out there for...
It got better. It got better, but it was still, I'm still locked in. I told you I'd be locked in until the end of the game, until I know that the Brewers were up 1-0 in the series and they won that game. I was not going to be calm about it. I'm not going to be overconfident. Anything can happen.
A message from the 920 before we move on to tonight's game and talk about what needs to happen to continue this. It says, you guys are making my morning. I've been waiting for this since the end of the game on Saturday to hear our reaction. Listen, it was amazing. And if Andy and Brookfield would not have sat down in the second inning, you were going to kill him. Andy went to stand up.
Oh, yeah.
And Mr. Superstition took over. Sit down. Sit down.
Yep.
Like, don't mess with the mojo. And then I felt bad for you. You had that black hat thing, that wool black hat.
Yeah, I did.
So you took it off because it was hotter than hot in the sun, especially not only in the tailgate, but obviously in the stadium.
Yeah.
You're like, whoop, not doing this. Well, then
held it in my hands for the start of the game.
Bush hits the home run, and you immediately put that hat back on, and you didn't take it off the rest of the game.
No, because as soon as I put it on, the Brewers got out of that inning, and then they put up 6.
Oh, so fun. All right, so in case you missed it, Aaron Ashby is the starter for tonight, which we asked questions about in the I Have Questions segment of Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh. And the question was, what's happening? We all thought Quinn Priester And my take on this is that Murphy is playing head games. We all remember how Council managed the pitching lineup and who he had on the playoff roster in the games when he was the manager of the Brewers. I believe it was Wade Miley, if memory serves me right. Didn't Wade Miley come in and pitch one batter? And then
that sounds right.
Then the projected starters showed up on the mound for the next 3, 4, 5 innings.
Mm-hmm.
Do we think that Ashby is going to go for a while tonight? I mean, he did pitch, was it 3 innings on Saturday, if memory serves me right?
Yeah. So listen, I don't know. And I've been, ever since they made the announcement yesterday, my first thought was what? And confusion.
It was 1.1 innings, by the way, on Saturday, not 3.
Yeah.
Felt like 3.
So immediate reaction was confusion to the Ashby news. And then it was trying to figure out what the game plan was, and then realized I have no idea. And I'm not sure that Murph knows either. This very well might be I'm going to see how it looks, how he feels. Maybe I have him out there for just an inning. Maybe I have him out there for 3. It's going to depend on a lot of things. I'm going to say this. I think the decision will change based on what the offense does. And so I want to focus on what happens offensively tonight. I said at the end of last week, and when we did our hits with Tommy from the parking lot, I said, look, I'm a little nervous about the offense because what we saw all wild card series and what we're kind of used to with playoff baseball is you take advantage of the few times pitchers miss. And those are the long ball. And so it's low scoring. And I said that if the Brewers win this game, it was going to be 3-1. Well, never in a million years would I have imagined that the Brewers came out in the first 2 innings doing exactly what they had done all regular season. And the Cubs did exactly what I thought was the playoff baseball recipe of take advantage of when a pitcher misses and hit the ball out of the yard, which they did 3 times. Okay. I am not going to stand here and tell you that I believe that the Brewers are going to be able to do that every single game through the postseason. I don't know that that's going to happen. And so I'm still looking for this offense to continue to prove me wrong. And it's in my eyes, the offense is what immediately put the game out of reach and just the Cubs gave up. And so I don't know if that's what Murph is banking on or what he's thinking could be a possibility, but it's all on the offense to prove me wrong again.
We talked about this at the end of last week in how the Brewers played their last 39 games, 19-20. They didn't play bad, but they didn't play 14 games in a row winning baseball. They didn't play 11 games in a row or even 8 games in a row. But they were 25-28 when all of that started towards the end of May, which gave me hope because they proved that they could have a start like that or a run like that and come out of it. And then we talked to Jeff Levering at the end of last week, and he said to us, guys, the boys are ready. They're ready. We're good. They're ready. They had a great few days. They're upbeat. They're excited. And I said to you during what I felt like wasn't a slump, but it just wasn't the Brewers that we knew and loved for so long.
Mm-hmm.
We were watching the Cubs, and they looked like kids on the diamond. And I remember saying to you, Josh, oh boy, that's dangerous looking because they're having a lot of fun. A lot of fun. There was one clip that came out from last week when the Brewers were having their inter-squad scrimmage and they put the bullpen coach behind the plate and then they put the ABS system up on the scoreboard and they had a lot of fun with him as they were getting calls wrong and so on. It gave me that glimmer of fun that I expected to see, that I was hoping to see. Did you see what happened on Saturday?
I did.
All of those hits and those dudes were having a blast. The you can't see me's was back. The cheering was back. The celebrations after 3 doubles in a row were back. The dugout lost its mind. The stadium lost its mind. If the Brewers are having fun and the power of friendship prevails, there's nothing that can stop this team. I believe that. That's why they're the number 1 seed. That's why they're the best team in baseball. That's where all of the success came from. Was watching exactly how that game started on Saturday. I think we have a chance to continue that tonight. But to your point, let's ride the wave. So
Well,
from a
and listen, when on the other side of this, I want to have a little realism against optimism conversation, looking at what happened in game 1 and looking ahead to game 2.
I knew it was coming.
Yep.
You can't let me be as optimistic as I can.
I'm asking for you to be, but I'm going to bring up some thoughts in my head. As I've said from the beginning, my brain playing everything out, and I want to hear what you have to say.
All right. Optimism versus realism coming next. That's what you got to look forward to. Caught myself there, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
You are listening to Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
2-2 from Savali. And Churio grounds one to third. Diving stop by Shaw. His throw not in time. Another run comes home.
We kind of care about that. I did not see Aaron Savali coming out of the pen for the Cubs in the playoffs, but there we were. So be it. He pitched pretty good, though.
Yes, he did.
Well, just put that out there that he actually did pretty good out of the pen, which is exactly what we wanted him to do for us. But whatever. Do you remember who from the Brewers replaced him in the starting lineup?
No.
Me neither. I wonder if they're still pitching in the starting lineup was my point on that.
I don't think so.
Was that Woody coming back?
Might have been.
Yeah. All right, Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live on your radio from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. You can follow us on Twitter. It's at Trevor Thomas IW and On Air Josh. At On Air Josh, at Trevor Thomas IW, and the show is at Inside Wis Sports. At The Fan Milwaukee to follow along with the station and thefanmilwaukee.com. You can also listen to this show for free on the Odyssey app. You can also text us with your standard text messaging rates applying on the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line 414-677-1250. Josh, you teased it before the break. You want to have a little optimism versus realism convo here. I'm here for it. Here we go.
Yes. All right. So, and I knew I wasn't going to go the whole show without talking about the game tonight because there's another baseball game tonight, a very important baseball game tonight. This was not a one-game decision made. This is a series. And so tonight's game, just as important.
Yeah.
And this is not, there were some things that happened in game one that I want to analyze. First, and the biggest, Jackson Churio, after that single that we just played, that happened, he, in the second, he was taken out, right? We talked about that hamstring, some very back and forth, kind of confusing, not really sure what's going on with him. Murph saying some scary things, then Churio saying, I'm good. MRI results inconclusive. It's going to depend on how he's doing with a little, what did they say? Some tightness, but testing, some on-field testing
yesterday. Yeah.
And we saw a little bit of that on social media, but I did not see any decision made. And so, unless I missed it, do we know for sure that he's...
No, well, what decision are you looking for, Mr. Realist?
I'm trying to figure out, is Jackson Churio going to be playing today?
Have you told he wasn't?
No, I was told we're going to see how he does in this testing.
Yeah. So this isn't the NFL. They don't have to release an injury report by Wednesday at 10:30 or whatever it is, or Thursday or whatever. I mean,
right. They have to release a lineup card.
That's it. So so the realism in me, the realistic person in me, this isn't even optimism. This is realism. We have not been told he's out. We have been told that it was inconclusive, that they were testing it, that he had tightness, and that he's not worried about it. And they took him out for precautionary purposes. So the realistic person, the realism in me, if I can dig deep and find it,
I was going to say,
says, I have nothing to be, I've not been told otherwise that he's not okay to play. As a matter of fact, I've been told everything that he is. Nothing is said that he's not okay. Everything is said that he is okay. So does the realism in you say he's not okay until you tell me he is?
No, it's just a question mark of me trying to figure out what happened in that test. What were the results and what is their plan with Churio today? Because Churio was huge in game one. Huge.
Yeah.
Okay. And so that's a big deal.
Well, we have proven that we can do it without him, though, too. So
yes.
That's where Mr. Optimism is coming. Here's
there
positive Pete. I think we can do it regardless if he's in the starting lineup or not. Not that he can't pitch hit. Maybe he's not going to be running. Maybe if he comes in for a big clutch hit, because if he can't go, then we put Lockridge in on the bases just like we did on Saturday. That's me saying that I'm a little nervous, too, by the way.
Okay. Thank you.
We need him. We want him. And here's what we can't have. We cannot have him blow his hammy out because we brought him back too early. So,
correct.
But I also talked about this, Josh, quickly. When we were in the regular season, I felt like they were going to not necessarily bring him back as fast as they could have from the IL because they had no reason to, right? The lead what it was. The division was what it was. We qualified for the playoffs early. So they didn't have a reason to bring him back. We got a reason now. So I'll be curious to see how this goes.
A few other things from the game that I'm looking at. Joey Ortiz walked his first 2 times on 8 pitches. I do not expect him to walk on twice on 8 pitches in tonight's game. Okay. And so I'm just saying that's another thing that happened in that game that isn't going to happen tonight. I'm not saying that something else won't happen, but I'm saying there's going to be things. There were things that happened in that first inning that truly were magic. Okay. And Ortiz getting on base on 4 straight pitches to a reliever that came in was crazy. You also had the Nico Hoerner just flop.
That was a tough ball. A lot of English.
Well, and they said, like, I think it was him getting ahead of himself of trying to make the decision. Is he going to try to pull 2 or just take the ball to first? And then he ended up botching the play completely. But, that's another thing that those are not guarantees. Those were not, hey, this is a great piece of hitting, and that's what happened. So these are all the things that were huge and impactful in that magical first inning run from the Brewers that you can't bank on. Obviously, every game is different, and there could be something new that happens tonight that is, that magic. Maybe there's a bunt, and they don't get to it in time, and Terang legs one out. Who knows? I don't know. But I'm saying when you're analyzing how the Brewers won Game 1, there were things that happened in that game that now there are other factors that you're looking at in Game 2.
Joey Ortiz was 0 for 2 with 2 walks. That's about as great of a performance as we can ask from him without hitting into double plays and not being great at the plate. He finished the regular season with a 230 average. Not good, but also not terrible. He actually came on in the second half of the season, and specifically during that win streak. We had a lot of Joey Ortiz hits during that, which we needed in order to pull that off. The other thing that happened on Saturday was the Brewers played really well on defense.
Correct.
Really well.
Correct.
And so we saw a couple times towards the end of the regular season where we didn't necessarily have a perfect game, and we cannot expect a perfect game. Perfect doesn't work. Like, it's not a real thing that you can do over and over and over and over again. But you just have to stop the bleeding if the bleeding occurs. The Cubs didn't. They bled out early in that game. Somebody just said on the Nicolay Law fan talking text line, by the way, 414-677-1250. They said Churio tweaked it after his first double. He should be done or might blow and ruin his career. I watched that play back this morning, and it's funny you bring that up because I literally looked to see if he grimaced at all during that double, and he didn't. He didn't come up lame. I didn't see that. So I
saw a few people on social media saying that same sentiment of it not being on the single, but on the first hit, or I should say the second hit in the in that first inning. That's my concern, though, right? And I think that's Murph's concern in the way he's talking, the way he is he's looking at more of a long game. He doesn't want to put him out there and then have it to where it's detrimental to this team, to Churio's career, and to the rest of this series and playoff run. That obviously there are trainers and things of that nature, and they're doing what they need to do to make this decision. But obviously, they're not going to put him out there if there's a chance that things can get dramatically worse in Game 2. Injury-wise.
If he can't go, who does?
I don't know. I guess Lockridge, right? Or
no, heck no.
Well,
probably. So it's probably Bowers or Collins. They'll shift. They'll move some things around. They'll stick one of those 2 guys in the outfield, make somebody else the DH.
Okay.
That's my guess.
Yeah.
I also don't know if the Cubs pitcher is a righty or a lefty, so I can't necessarily say that. However, we have no reason to believe that he can't go. So we will see, Mr. Realism, how this all shakes out later tonight. 8:08, first pitch, AmFam Field, Cubs at Brewers for Game 2 tonight. You are listening to Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Chourio grounds one fair. Up the left field line. And he'll dig for extra bases. A sliding double for Jackson Chourio to lead things off in the bottom of the first. And Terang smacks one to right. That's down for a base hit and is off the wall. Chourio will score, and the Brewers immediately answer. William Contreras tags one towards the gap. That is down for a base hit. Past the diving Eden Happ. Terang will score. Broken bat for Freeland. On a ball to second. Corner boots it. Everybody's safe. Here comes Contreras. And he scores. And Perkins wins the battle. Vaughn around third. He will score. 4-1 Milwaukee. But Chourio laces this one into left field. And the hit parade continues. Two more come home. 6-1 Milwaukee. Ballesteros rolls over on one and stays fair. And that'll do it. The best team in baseball during the regular season. The Brewers with a barrage in Game 1. One of the largest postseason wins in franchise history. And the Brewers lead this series 1-0.
What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. My name is Trevor Thomas. He is Josh Albrecht.
Hi.
We are on the Twitter at Trevor Thomas IW and at On Air Josh. Follow the show too at Inside Wis Sports, at the Fan Milwaukee on Facebook and Twitter, thefanmilwaukee.com, the website, and the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. Hit us up, 414-677-1250. I have superstitious questions for Josh.
All right.
For Andy in Brookfield being asked to sit down, which he texted in, by the way. Do you want to have a little combatant with him and put him to bed, or what do you do?
Well, listen, I mean, first of all, Andy should be appreciative that he got to come along, first and foremost.
Wow.
All right. Second of all, Andy texting in this morning and saying, imagine that bases loaded in the second inning, Brewers up 6-1, and Josh tells me I can't stand and cheer. Don't tell me how to fan, unless, of course, it goes against my superstitions. Andy in Brookfield. Andy, okay, first of all, fair point on telling you how to fan. Second, you were not standing and cheering. That wasn't it. No, you were up, down, standing, cheering the whole time. You were going to leave the seats. That I couldn't let happen. I'd be like, no, you can't leave the seats right now.
Sit down.
Sit down.
I don't care how bad you have to go to the bathroom.
No.
So that's the superstition question I have. I understand that you're a little superstitious, and I'm wondering what is allowed and what's not in superstition land, because I really don't have superstitions. I don't like putting things into the universe that necessarily, like, I don't like putting bad mojo out there, if you will. But I also don't necessarily consider superstitions. So we were together on Saturday. We had a great tailgate. Thanks again to everybody that stopped by. Walking into the game was a blast. Walking out of the game was a blast. The game was a blast, specifically those first two innings. Josh was unwell, is the best way I know how to put it, after the Bush home run in the top of the first, the leadoff batter of all things. And then you did this, like, you had this rock back and forth.
Yeah, I had to. Yep.
Like almost like somebody in a straitjacket would just rock back and forth, and just trying to figure it out. And whatever it was, it worked. So do you like have mental memory of all of the things that you did that you believe worked? And do you have the same shirt? Do you wear the same underwear? Is it the same hat? Will you be wearing that black hat with those sunglasses in your house? Like, where do you stand on superstitions taking this into game 2 tonight?
Yeah, so I have the same Euchre Magic shirt that I wore. Still have that ready to go for the game tonight with the hat. Yeah, same hat. So outfit will be the same. I think a lot of people sometimes will give into that superstition. That one's not maybe uncommon. I will be honest with you, the fact that we're not all going to game 2 might not be at game 2 at all. Right now, don't plan on it. Just going to be at Kelly's Bleachers, which you should join us, by the way. Tommy Wartz and I doing the leadoff show from Kelly's Bleachers from 5 to 8 p.m. this evening. But, yeah, so the outfit will be the same, to answer your question.
Okay. Are there other superstitions, though? Like what you eat or what you drink or how you fan sitting down or standing up? Like, I feel like maybe this is all just a game time decision for you because on Saturday, there was a lot more. Like, here's how nervous I was about your superstitions. I wore a white Brewer pink flamingo hat to the game.
Yeah.
And then I bought this one while we were there. And as I was getting ready this morning, I was like, I'm wearing a hat today because my superstition is, you've heard of playoff beards? Look at this, Josh. I know we're on the radio, but I'm going to take my.
Yeah.
I have playoff baldness going.
Yeah. Look at that. That's different.
So I have not shaved my head since.
Oh, you're
Friday.
definitely going to want to watch us on YouTube right now if you missed that.
Now you understand why I shave my head because I've got that is bad.
Looks good on you though.
Does it though?
No.
So that's why I have a hat on today because the one superstition I do have is that if I need to let the playoff hair rock, then I will. But that's it, really. I mean, I'm not repacking my Jeep. I'm not like going to tailgate the same way in my garage after my son's football game tonight. Like I don't have anything else. I just did this more or less for you. I'm like, boy, if I shave my head and he calls me on that, or I will let this ride through the World Series if that's the way it needs to go. And that is not going to be pretty.
Well, so listen, here's the beauty of superstitions, right? Is that it's all for the person. It's all for the person that's doing them. And, you know, it's what's making you feel better, what you think is putting out the right vibes into the universe. And so you saying, I'm not going to shave my head just in case.
That's it.
I love it. But that's what you're going with. Your gut told you, well, I don't want to jinx this. So just in case.
That's fair. All right. Well, then that's my commitment. There you go. That's my superstitious commitment to you that I will not shave my head until the Brewers, how do I see? Can you see? I'm trying not to say the thing that I will only shave my head. I don't even know how to say this, Josh. What would you say? Like, this is a playoff beard on top of my head, and it's going to stay there as long as the Brewers keep winning. Look at that. There you go. That was as realistic and optimistically as I could without putting the wrong thing into the universe. Thanks. Took me a second. Jacob in a van. Back when the Packers won the Super Bowl, I was at my buddy's house for the NFC Championship game, and they won. So when the Super Bowl came around, we all went back. Wore the same stuff. Sat in the same spots. That I can appreciate. In the future, I would really like to keep going to the games if I'm at a win. I just can't make it happen tonight, and I had tickets. So Mike, my buddy Mike Schmitty, if you're going tonight, this is on you now, bud.
Yep.
You have all four. Granted, there are different seats. I think it's one section over, but still, this is on you now. Your turn. Keep it going. I specifically asked him who he was a fan of before I offered.
Good.
And his response of F the Cubs qualified.
Fair.
Turns out he could go. So you were super nervous going into the game on Saturday, and I would like to think it was because of the way the Brewers finished the regular season. You just weren't sure who was going to show up or how they were going to show up.
Yeah, a lot of questions.
Now that you saw them the way they showed up, how do you feel about tonight's game in comparison to how you felt before Saturday?
Well, I definitely feel better, right? Because they proved that the way that they played baseball, they can still play baseball in the postseason. You know, I'm still, my expectations are still at a realistic point of, I don't expect them to go put 9 runs up tonight. I don't expect that same type of performance. And I think it's unrealistic to think that that's how they're going to perform every game through their playoff run. But seeing the fact that the bats can come alive and that it can still be anybody that hits you is enjoyable and great. And it should make anyone who fans the way I do feel better about what this team's, what's possible.
In your fandom, what makes you feel great? Like if you look, that's it though. There's no heard. We just won.
Yes, and I felt good about that win. I had a great weekend because of that win.
I heard you say you felt good.
Yeah, felt good.
What would make you feel great before a game? Like what else could the Brewers have possibly shown you on Saturday that would make you, like me, feel great going into the game tonight?
I don't know that anything besides the questions with injury, to Churio. I don't think there's anything. They played great. They played their style of baseball and it worked. That doesn't mean that I'm still going to not question if that's going to work every time. Listen, I'm just seeing it happen was beautiful, and seeing them continue to peck away. I think they even talked about, the nickname of the Woodpeckers and them pecking away on one of the broadcasts. I loved it. I loved everything about it. I spent a lot of time, Saturday night and all day Sunday watching highlights of that first inning. I have it bookmarked. I'm going to watch it again. I mean, it was amazing. And I'm so happy that we got to be a part of it.
I got home late Saturday night, back up here to Green Bay. I think I got home at 10:15, and I told you that I popped the game on right away and made it till about the fifth inning when Freddie was getting ready to walk out to a standing ovation, by the way. I understand that first inning, Freddie showed up, but so too did Freddie's second, third, fourth, fifth inning. He played great. Little dicey there when he saw the lineup for, I think, what was the third time through. That seems to be his vice. If he has a vice, it's the third time those guys come up. I don't know if he gets tired or they're just onto him or whatever. But then Ashby came in, pitched 1 1/3, got us out of the semi-jam that Freddie got us in. Koenig came in, and then Mears came in to close it out, which I really like to see. So we have a lot of things left in our basket for tonight. Not a lot of pitchers out of the bullpen pitched. Uribe didn't pitch. Trevor didn't pitch. Koenig barely pitched. And now we're starting Ashby tonight, which, by the way, we still have Miz. He didn't pitch. Priester, I still think he's coming in at some point tonight, by the way. Or
hopefully not.
Can you imagine if they take this game as a bullpen game?
That's what I'm saying. That's definitely a possibility.
Imagine the moxie.
Well, everyone thought that was going to be game 3. Game 3 was going to be the bullpen game.
Right. So what does Murph see that we were, because yesterday,
I don't know.
This kind of feels like one of those moments where you're like, Ashby? What? And then you go, oh, wait, Ashby.
Maybe.
That actually might be a thing that we should enjoy watching tonight. So we're not sure on Churio. We are sure on Ashby. We're not sure who's coming in after him, or if we're playing the chess game that Council liked to play against the teams when he was managing the Brewers. I just cannot get enough of the way these guys play when they're having fun. And listen, what I talked for a while in a previous life about what the playoff theme should be for this Milwaukee Brewers, and everybody and their mother was like, the power of friendship, the power of friendship. And then the Brewers come out with Magic Brew, and obviously there's Uke Magic and all the different things that come out. Walking into that game, it did not feel like there was a worry in the world. If anything, I felt like Cubs fans were worried. And that was a great place to be, by the way, because the second they hit that home run, we all got real worried. But then looking at them after all the other runs came on, you could tell their confidence was completely gone. I have a video of zooming in on the female that was 2 rows ahead of us. I zoomed in on the book that she was keeping. Not a lot of runs on that book. Looks terrible. God, we had a blast on Saturday. I'm bummed that I'm not going tonight, but I know that there will be just as many Brewer fans, if not more, there tonight. I did not take a look at Ticket King or any of those things. I just wanted to understand where these tickets were at before the last game. And sure enough, I told you last time, those 10 tickets that were for sale right in front of us, every last cotton-picking one of those people were Cubs fans. So I hope that doesn't happen tonight. It was an easy 80-20 Brewers fans to Cubs fans. Hopefully that's a repeat tonight. If you're headed down there, make sure to take some time and join the playoff edition of the Leadoff Show on the road tonight ahead of Game 2 between Milwaukee and Chicago. They as in Josh Albrecht and Tommy Wartz, at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound tonight from 5 to 8, brought to you by Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea on 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Hey guys, I know it's game 2 tonight, but I want to make sure that I am on your calendar for game 3 when the crew heads to Chicago. Make sure to join me and the rest of the fan on October 8th for the game 3 watch party at Natty Oaks in West Allis. Natty Oaks is there to shuttle you to the stadium on game days, and they're the best place to watch postseason baseball. Join me and the fan for the Game 3 watch party, giveaways, drink specials, wings, smash can burgers. Tommy will be there doing the leadoff show live. It's going to be a blast. Wednesday, October 8th at Natty Oaks, where National and Oklahoma meet in West Allis. Natty Oaks, small bar, big attitude.
William Contreras tags one towards the gap. That is down for a base hit. Past the diving Eden Happ. Terang will score. 3 straight doubles for the Brewers to begin. And they have the lead.
And they will keep the lead. What a day on Saturday. What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 the FM studios. This is called The Fan, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. On the Twitter, at Trevor Thomas IW, on air, Josh, and our guest every Monday and every Friday, except for during a bye week. We learned that last week. I'm off for Mr. Andy Herman. You can follow him on Twitter. It's at Andy Herman NFL, and make sure to follow the podcast at Pack a Day Podcast. Andy, good to see you. We're coming into this on a bye week. So first things first, give us your take on the Brewers. Where are we at? How you doing?
I am doing fantastic. Thank you, fellas. My very last words on my radio show were just about my final take was that the Brewers are going to win the World Series. I still feel very confident in that. I feel great about it. They're a fun team to watch. No question about it. I just love the way that they play. Hopefully, the normal Wisconsin curse of like, hey, we're going to do everything to put a bunch of crap in your path right before the start of the postseason with a Brandon Woodruff injury and, then Jackson Churio getting hurt in the first game. Hopefully that's not going to necessarily derail this Brewers team. I don't think it will. And I just love that first game and how hot they came out right out of the gates. And hopefully they can continue that today.
Man, so fun. I was listening to that show while my wife was having a procedure done in the hospital that day. The people did not... Sir, are you on your phone? Yeah, a little bit. Hold on. Gotta listen to this one. It's pretty important.
Just 1 second.
Andy Herman on Inside Wisconsin Sports. He is joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Well, that prediction is still in play, Andy. And I know that you're a Brewers fan, and obviously Josh and I are Brewers fans. We were at the game on Saturday. Did you by chance go?
I was in Vegas, actually, which is why I was not here with you guys on Friday. So I was making sure I was at a sports bar in Vegas. It was bright and early there. So I was there and having a Bloody and a Brewer game early in the morning in Vegas, which is exactly what you want in that situation. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Where were you?
I was at the Aria. Well, I was staying at the Aria. I don't remember the name of the sports bar. It was right on the strip though. So yeah, it was Vegas.
He was in Vegas.
So it was outside. It was perfect. It was beautiful. Couldn't have asked for anything better. And awesome Brewers win. So I do plan. I was thinking about going tonight. My kids have a bunch of sports stuff going on. So I do have plans. If there is a game 5, hopefully there isn't because the Brewers have swept the Cubs. If there is a game 5, I will be there. If there is not a game 5 and they play in the NLCS, I will for sure either be there for game 1 or game 2, probably game 2 coming up in the NLCS. So
I like that. I'm a big fan of that. So Andy, listen, obviously, Pack a Day podcast is Packers every day, but we've been all Brewers. It's just been so tough not to be watching that, especially being in Vegas, watching that first inning. Kind of give us what was going through your mind from, the Bush home run in the top of the first all the way through to the end of the first.
Yeah, so I will be transparent. I was walking on my way to the bar when I got the alert that they had hit a home run, that the Cubs had hit a home run. So I had not quite got there until the bottom of the first. And the sort of that classic Wisconsin sports feel, right, of like, here we go again, right? Like you just had that, the Woodruff news, and you're just like, they're not. There were no teams that were really coming into this thing super hot into the playoffs in general. Obviously, some teams came into the NLDS winning their wild card matchups, but the Brewers weren't coming in super hot, and just that tiny bit of doubt creeps in of like, here we go again. Like, I know this feeling, and then just for the Brewers to immediately erase it in the bottom of the first, that by the time I got my first drink, by the time I got that Bloody Mary, it was all of a sudden 6-1 already. I'm like, this is fantastic. Like, this is going to go down way smoother. So no, it was definitely that moment of just Wisconsin doubt, because we've all been through it with, I don't know, every Wisconsin sport. But then thankfully to erase it at the very beginning of the first inning was phenomenal.
Andy Herman on Inside Wisconsin Sports with us this morning. All right, so the Packers were on a bye. We don't have anything Packers to talk about from the weekend, but we have some questions coming into this weekend with Cincinnati coming to town. But first, was there anything that you saw with the Lions or the Vikings or even the how the Cowboys bounced back? And obviously the Browns played the Vikings pretty well. Did you see anything that we as Packer fans need to make note of as we come back from the bye this week?
Yeah, there's one thing that I will absolutely say, and I know most fans, I think, know this. The NFL is really freaking hard. We are now 5 weeks into the season, and there is not a single undefeated team remaining. The Bills last night lose to New England in Buffalo, a game that I think everyone expected Buffalo to win. The Philadelphia Eagles lose to the Broncos in Philly. If you're thinking that like the Packers are going through these, druthers that no other team is having to go through, it's just not the case. Every single one of these teams has things that they are frustrated by, disappointed by, that are maybe not living up to expectations and or need to learn from this upcoming season. Despite being 2-1-1, the Packers are currently with the 9th best record in football, and they've only won 2 of their first 4 games. And if the Jaguars lose to the Chiefs tonight, they will have the 8th best record in football, the top quarter of teams in the NFL, despite only winning 2 of their first 4 games. And there is not a single team, again, that is undefeated. And one of those teams that's ahead of them at 4-1, the Detroit Lions, one of the fan bases that actually probably is playing really good. Green Bay beat them in the opening week. And that's not to excuse the Packers' 2-1 start. It's not to necessarily say that, everything's perfect or that they don't need to learn from their mistakes, etc. They clearly do. And it's clearly disappointing to go 0-1 in their last 2 weeks. But just a reminder that this first quarter / a little bit plus of the season is tough for everyone. Everyone's still learning and everyone still has opportunities for growth. And the teams that actually grow over the course of this next 4 games ish are going to be the teams that are going to set themselves up for success. So none of these teams are final products. They're all struggling with something, and Green Bay's clearly in that mix as well.
So the one thing I wanted to ask Andy in regards to football was about the Bengals, right? Obviously, Bengals coming into this week was a laughing stock, had us all going last week like, okay, so the Bengals are really messed up. They're hurt. They don't have Burrow. This should be an easy bounce back. Not saying that the Bengals came out and dominated, obviously, but they looked a lot better than I think a few Packers fans might have thought they were going to look in their game on Sunday. Did you take away anything from that Bengals game, and did it or that performance rather, and did it change the mentality that you have going in to this game with the Packers after the bye?
Well, it's an interesting dynamic because if you look at it, it was 28-3 at the end of the third quarter, and the game was completely out of hand. And even still, even though Cincinnati put up 21 really unexpected points in the fourth quarter, they still lose by 13 points. 13 points overall. So Green Bay opens as 14.5-point favorites in this game. I think the big question right now is Jake Browning going to be the quarterback for this team this upcoming week? And if not, who is it going to be? Zach Taylor was, I would say, supportive of Browning, but non-committal to Browning. It sounds like they're open to maybe making some moves. But the question would become, what's logical for Cincinnati this week as they head to Green Bay? They have 3 other quarterbacks that are on their roster. Brett Rippon is the backup. Green Bay saw Brett Rippon a season ago, was not really impressive. And I think Green Bay would be doing just as many backflips if they saw Brett Rippon as if they saw Jake Browning at this point. In fact, I think Browning still probably gives them a better chance. And we did see Browning catch a little bit of fire in that fourth quarter against Detroit. The other 2 options are on the practice squad. That is Mike White and good old friend Sean Clifford. I don't think any Packers fans are going to lose any sleep if it's Sean Clifford. Mike White is a practice squad quarterback for a reason. I think personally White is better than Rippon, but you're not scared of any of these quarterbacks. And the truth of the matter is, even if they trade for a Jameis Winston, even if they trade for a Russell Wilson or something like that, which, by the way, they absolutely should, then the question is, one, how quickly can that quarterback get up to speed? We've seen it happen. We saw Josh Jacobs get traded to the Vikings last year, and all of a sudden he's starting in the game the week after. We have seen Baker Mayfield get to the Rams a couple years ago and all of a sudden start the same week. So it's not impossible for something like this to happen, but it certainly puts that quarterback behind the 8 ball. And I think the bigger thing here is unless all of a sudden Joe Burrow comes back miraculously and is playing, I'm not sure there's a quarterback that they could find at this moment that makes up the difference between the Packers and the Bengals. Green Bay coming off a bye week and playing this game in Green Bay, where despite their struggles so far, they look fantastic against the Lions. They look fantastic against Washington. And I do expect Green Bay to have a little bit of pent-up frustration following a loss against the Browns and a tie against Detroit. So I expect Green Bay, no matter what, to win this game. But it'll be interesting to see who that quarterback is. And if that little bit of that momentum they took away in the fourth quarter from Detroit carries over and maybe gives Green Bay a little bit of a tough time in this one.
Over Dallas. Yes.
Sorry.
Yes. No, I agree with you.
Well, dude, you just came back from Vegas.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm surprised.
The fact that you had all of that detail right off the top of your head is not only ridiculous, but impressive. Thanks for being human. It's all good.
Yeah. Can you imagine if we were in Vegas for that game? Oh, yeah. That would have been insane. Hey.
Mumbles.
Yeah.
It was insane being in Dallas. I can tell you that much. Andy, we appreciate you. Thanks for jumping on. Andy Herman at Andy Herman NFL on Twitter. Make sure to join him on the Pack a Day podcast wherever you catch podcasts every single day. How many days in a row now?
It's 2,000 some. I've lost track. 2,628, something like that, I think is where we're at. So just a couple.
Amazing.
That's incredible. We'll talk to you on Friday, yeah? You're not in Vegas this time?
Appreciate you guys.
Talk to you then, buddy. We'll see you.
Thanks, Andy.
Andy Herman, the Pack a Day podcast. Make sure to follow him. Dude, he's a Green Bay Packers encyclopedia.
Yeah, he is. He can go. He can go. But let me tell you, I love that he's still a Brewers fan. You know, even on a day after, the first show back after that amazing game 1 win, and to hear his story and get his emotions and his feels, being away. My buddy Brian, who we were talking to earlier last week about the game leading up to the game. He was out of town. He was actually also in Vegas. A lot of people in Vegas this weekend. And he was like on the golf course, and it was like by the time that he didn't even care about golf, like he was just trying to listen to the game. But by the time that he was able to get to it, I mean, all of it happened so fast. And so it's like, if you were 5 minutes late, for the game, 5-10 minutes, you missed so much
right.
already. And so I know there were a lot of people that went through that, but it was so exciting, and so many amazing memories were made. And it had me honestly thinking about like the Bucs playoff run and how we can point out, our brains can still point out so many amazing plays and memories throughout that run. What a start. What a start for this team.
Andy joined us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Sports Talk on the Fan is presented by Paramount Plus. You can't count on much, but you can always count on Sundays with the NFL on CBS and Paramount Plus. Watch your local NFL game live every Sunday, all season long. Visit ParamountPlus.com/NFL to get started today. What's Up, Wisconsin is next. We're fairly certain we know what you have going on today, but if you have something else other than the Brewers tonight at 8:08, first pitch, Cubs at Brewers, TBS, or maybe you're going there, we want to know. Are you headed out there? Where are you watching the game? What are you doing? Text us on the Fan Talk and Text line, powered by Nicolay Law. 414-677-1250, the Nicolay Law Fan Talk and Text line, 414-677-1250. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook.
Broken bat for Freeland. On a ball to second. Corner boots it. Everybody's safe. Here comes Contreras. And he scores.
What's up, Wisconsin? Welcome back inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, the Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook at Trevor Thomas IW and at On Air Josh is how you follow along with us on Twitter. Time for What's Up, Wisconsin. What are you doing today? Who's headed out to AmFam Field?
What's up?
If you're not going, where are you watching the game? Josh, somebody had a comment quick on YouTube before we get into What's Up, Wisconsin. What was it?
Yeah, first of all, just in case you guys didn't know, you can always follow along with the show on YouTube as well at The Fan Milwaukee. Q comments and says, you guys brought the energy Saturday. Any concerns about the late Monday crowd tonight? It's a very interesting question because on one hand, I think there's, it's not a weekend. So it's more difficult for Cub fans that are truly coming up from Chicago, right? It's going to be a late drive home. And I mean, technically you can try to come up after work because it is late, right? So if you work till 5, they can try to make it up here for the 8:00 game. But I think it's going to be more difficult for Cubs fans. That being said, I've heard a lot of people like ourselves that were at game 1 saying not going back for game 2. So hoping that there's just a different group of Brewers that are going to be doing that. Brewer fans, I should say.
That's a fascinating take, and I'm not so sure. I want to believe that tonight will be no different. I think that at the end of the day, it's going to be a lot of the same crowd that we saw on Saturday. There's somebody that's going to be able to tell us this and then report back, I think, more than anything. A buddy of mine, a buddy of yours, a voice that we all recognize, Lane Grindle, joins us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call, that's all. Lane, let's be honest, dude. There was a lot of Brewers fans there on Saturday, right?
Oh, absolutely. I wasn't sure what to expect, but I think Jeff and I both said afterwards, we thought it was like 80-20, 85-15 Brewers fans in the stands on Saturday, and it was special, man. That place was as loud and as many fans foaming at the mouth as I can remember in those first 2 innings. It was pretty cool.
I sound the way I do because I was one of those fans. Josh,
you're doing
there,
your job.
We were there.
Oh, we were screaming.
Well, bad for your actual job, though, Lane. Good for that job.
True.
Bad for the real job. So that was amazing, and we're already moving on to tonight, right? So we've flushed it. We're trying hard to hold on to the positivity, right, Josh? And
that's right.
Optimism.
That's right.
But at the end of the day, we play again tonight. So can you help us understand why Aaron Ashby is starting, please?
Well, I think there's a lot of different things that could play into this, and the Brewers aren't going to say a lot probably publicly as to why they're doing it or what their plan is even after him. I mean, Pat Murphy was not, I would say, committal to Quinn Priester. He said he could pitch after him, right? Like, I think that's what we anticipate is going to happen, and that's what the Brewers have done in the past. They've used an opener for Quinn, so it kind of makes some sense in that way, but he didn't commit all the way to that. So I think anything after Ashby is probably somewhat on the table for the Brewers here tonight. But the main thing would probably be to lessen the amount of times, or lessen by 1, the times that whoever is the bulk guy tonight, assuming there is a bulk guy, would have to face those lefties like a Bush, like a Tucker at the top of this Cubs lineup. It just means that you can still work, 2 times plus through the lineup, but only have to face those guys maybe 2 times. And that just helps because they're tough matchups right now. Michael Bush swinging the bat really well. He's had a very good postseason. Kyle Tucker's still Kyle Tucker. I know that, he didn't have the greatest second half this year, but he did swing it better on the way into the clubhouse at the end of the second half going into the postseason. And he's played in 68 postseason games. This guy is pretty attuned to the moment. So he still is a guy you're concerned about. So I think that's probably the biggest reason why.
On a walk?
I did. Yeah, that was interesting.
that was a decision.
Yeah. It was interesting. But you know what? You get caught up in the postseason, right? They're big moments, and you're grinding through these at bats at such a high level. So I'm sure these guys all get caught up in it a little bit.
Lane, tell me a little bit about looking at this decision to start Ashby. How much of this gets to be up to the moment, right? So if Ashby goes out and he's pitching well, then could it be a situation where they move Priester to game 3 and they just don't pitch him and then they go bullpen? Or is it no matter when Ashby's done, if the plan was they're going to go Priester, they're going to go Priester because of, having him warm up before the game or something? Is there that decision behind the scenes being made, or can it truly be, hey, if Ashby pitches well, maybe we hold him off?
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. And you're not the first person that's asked me that, actually. I think that's what a lot of people are wondering is there the ability to be flexible depending on what happens in the first couple of innings? And can you pivot? If you have this plan, can you pivot to something else? In the regular season, the answer would be no. If it was Quinn's day to go and you had told him that ahead of time, he's coming into the game. I don't know how the postseason changes that. I'm not a manager. I'm not in those meetings for the Brewers, so I don't know the answer to that. But I think it's a legitimate thing that people are talking about because it could play into something here tonight. I think with Ashby, because of how postseason baseball works, I do think you can tell yourself, like, look, we're going to try to get an inning out of him and see what happens after that. But I think you can be flexible there. If he looks sharp and he's pitching well, I know analytics play a lot into this, and there's all these decisions that are made based on numbers on a sheet of paper. But I think one thing Pat Murphy does a great job of is being in the moment, and it doesn't matter about anything other than what are my eyes telling me right now. And if he's pitching really well and he looks sharp, and this is a guy that can go out there and throw 50 pitches. We've seen Ashby do it, and he also recovers quickly. He's a former starter, so he kind of understands how to navigate the beginning of a game. If he looks really sharp, it wouldn't shock me if he went 2 1/3 or 2 2/3 or something like that tonight. I just think all bets are off. That's what the postseason's all about. You play it pitch by pitch and you see how things are going.
Yeah, I love that. The other side of this, of course, being the offense, and watching the wild card series across all the games, it was kind of set that it was the long ball was huge, and it was you took advantage of mistakes when the pitchers made them, and they didn't make them that often, right? And so when you saw teams like the Padres and some of these other teams that tried to focus on small ball, there were a lot of men left on base and not a lot of runs scored. I was very nervous of that being the way that this Brewers game was going to go in game 1 because of what I saw in the wild card series. The Cubs ended up kind of taking that formula, right? The 3 runs they scored, all on solo shots, all long balls. Do you see that kind of playing out at any point in the series, even tonight? Or is the Brewers' mentality of this just so much better with them pecking away and getting those base hits that it's just a different formula truly than what these other teams try to do in the wild card series?
So I do think it is a little different formula. We hear the term small ball. I don't really think that's what the Brewers do. The Brewers compete pitch to pitch. If that pitch gives them a chance to slug, they slug, right? They weren't near the top of Major League Baseball in home runs, but in the month of August when they were beating everybody, they were hitting a lot of home runs too. A 2-run double is still worth 2 runs, just the same as a 2-run home run is. And so I think the Brewers take what is in front of them better than any team that I've seen in my 10 years covering the Brewers. And sometimes that might be putting down a bunt and moving a guy over. Maybe that's a safety squeeze like we saw in the first one of the year against the Royals from Bryce Terang. Maybe that's what they do on the bases. But I think there's an aggressive style to what the Brewers do on the bases and in terms of how they attack at the plate, how they wear down pitchers. And I don't know that I call that small ball in the same way that, I think the baseball fans across the country would call it small ball. The Brewers were very good, though, all season long at getting runners in from third with less than 2 outs. They were second in Major League Baseball in that category. I think it was 54% of the time they got that runner home. So they're very good at executing that because they're very good at putting the ball in play. And I think that's a big strength of this team.
The difference is chicks dig the long ball, Wayne.
Yeah,
Lane, that's
absolutely.
all it is. Chicks dig the long ball.
Yeah,
Lane
we've learned
Grindle.
that.
Yeah, this is the thing. Inside Wisconsin Sports, Lane Grindle jumping on with us. Lane, we are up against a hard out here in a little bit, so I got one more thing for you. If memory serves me right, you were the public address announcer for Game 1 of the NLCS when Woody hit the home run off of Clayton Kershaw. Am I right on that?
That is correct. Yeah.
Can't believe I remember that. So do you believe that first inning on Saturday compares to how loud that was when Woody hit that home run off of Kershaw?
I hadn't put that specific moment up against what we heard on Saturday. I just know that I was being asked in the aftermath of that game, like, where does that rank in terms of atmospheres here? And I said, it's as good as any I've been around. But, I mean, you think about the Moustakas walk-off in Game 1 of the NLDS against the Rockies. You think of the Woodruff home run. Those are kind of the two home moments that really stand out to me. The Yelich home run in Game 7 of the NLCS, too, because it was just like, are you kidding me? He just did this after this crazy season. So those would be the three moments at home for me that kind of stand out.
Yeah.
I don't know. At some point, it's just crazy loud, and you can't differentiate
it is what it is.
between them. It was on that level. Let's put it that way. It was pretty.
And
incredible.
the only difference was the roof was closed, I think, for Game 1 of the NLCS. This one was cracked open or whatever it was.
And those were singular moments. This was a sustained roar for like 30 minutes.
Yeah,
where people couldn't even sit down because something was happening just like that again. I mean, that's kind of the difference too.
Yeah, well, for some people, Mr. Superstition Josh over there, people couldn't stand up either. Don't you dare stand up.
Hey, I'm sorry. Did the Brewers win 9-3?
Yeah, okay. That's
okay, well, there you have it.
I'm not a superstition guy, but you do what you got to do.
Thank you.
Whatever gets
I'm
you
gonna
through
do
the
what I
game and
gotta
makes
do.
you feel comfortable, you do what you got to do.
If it's only weird if it doesn't work.
These mornings are crazy for guys like you, Lane, because a lot of people want to talk with you and hear you talk. So thanks for jumping on with us. We will take you up on this again in the future. We promise.
Absolutely. My pleasure, guys. Go Crew.
Love it.
Crew. Talk to you guys soon. All right. There you go. Lane Grindle joining us on the Fan Guest Hotline, powered by Gruber Law. One call. That's all. Those dudes are busy, man. Everybody wants to talk with Lane Grindle and Jeff Levering and any of the guys that have any type of inside scoop. And at the end of the day, they only know, I guess, what we know, which is we don't know.
Yeah.
And we'll see how this goes. Aaron Ashby, the starter tonight, Game 2, 8:08, the first pitch.
So what's up for tonight is that if you don't have tickets to the game, and even if you do, you can stop down ahead of time, but make sure to join Tommy Wartz and myself down at Kelly's Bleachers on Blue Mound for the leadoff show, which will be taking place starting at 5 o'clock. We're going to go 5 to 8 for the leadoff show tonight. Get you ready for Game 2.
I'm sweaty palmed. And on Friday, we did this awesome thing at the end with the Dark Knight and whatever. So, I mean, we're not going to play that again. I'm not that superstitious.
Yeah, but
at the end of the day, you could.
It's just as important.
This is just as special. Oh, I wasn't nervous until just now. I'm really confident, though. I'm really, really confident. I'm not guaranteeing anything. And if somebody is,
right, you're not.
Please shut your mouth. This is it, though. Like, this was great. Saturday was great. It felt like everything that we knew the Brewers could do, they did. They showed back up. They got the hits. Lane just said it best. This isn't small ball. This is ball. This is Brewers baseball. This is another single. There's a guy on Twitter or TikTok or something that loses his mind. He's a Cubs fan.
Yeah, I saw
another single. Another single. Yeah, that's how we're going to beat you. Single after single, double after double, and maybe home runs and maybe not. But I said this the other day. They're capable of hitting the long ball. They are capable.
I will tell you this, going into Game 2, momentum is like a wave, and it only matters if you ride it. Okay? So, yeah, we have momentum after Game 1. We got to take advantage of it for Game 2 and send this series as a 2-0 series back to Wrigley. Game 1 was great. We all enjoyed it. We'll have those memories and highlights for a long, long time. Game 2 is just as important. Got to get it done tonight.
If you are going, please hold up your end of the deal as a Brewers fan. I can barely talk this morning because every single time the Cubs fans tried to do something of their little "Let's go Ubbies" chant or whatever it was, the Brewers fans drowned them out.
Get loud.
We were loud, and the expectation is that you too are loud. If you can't talk tomorrow morning, whatever. maybe somebody on the other end of the line and your 9 to 5 won't matter. I can't talk, and I'm on the radio every single morning. I have a bigger problem. You bring it as loud as you possibly can. This is Inside Wisconsin Sports with Trevor and Josh, live from the 1250 AM and 105.7 FM, The Fan Studios, powered by the Potawatomi Sportsbook. Let's go.
Make sure to tune in tomorrow